It's an amazing day and the sky is calling, so let's go flying. Hi, this is Dan. It all depends on your point of view. And from my perspective, from the left seat of Cardinal 220, the Cirrus Vision Jet taxiing straight at us is looking very, very cool. We've been waiting to take off much longer than usual, and I was getting impatient. Planes just keep arriving and landing traffic gets priority, and that included this jet. But that long wait put us in the best spot to see it. You know, it's worth the wait. It made my point of view what it is. Our point of view is in Camarillo, looking up at the point of a rocket. This Falcon 9 just launched from 100 miles away a few minutes ago, and it's already overhead. The other amazing thing is that you can see it clearly as far away as Arizona too, maybe even better. We're just a little north of Camarillo and headed towards Fillmore in the second valley beyond, the Santa Clarita Valley. It had been raining most of the day and I wasn't planning on making this flight at all, but by sunset the weather cleared some, so here we are and I'm glad of it. You can't find anything much prettier than a California sunset after a clearing storm. Oh, the reason for the flight? Well, I was having a problem with too much static on my radios. It was hard to hear distant signals. The squawk was worked on the day before, so I needed to go up and test. So I headed out here far enough to where broadcasts from Camarillo are weak and I could test properly. Well, the fix worked and the static problem was gone, so I could forget about it and enjoy the scenery. And the scenery was very easy on the eyes. How else would it be in the Santa Clarita Valley? You see, Santa Clarita is the patron saint of sore eyes. We're over Soda Lake at the north end of the Carrizo Plain, inland from the California Central Coast. We're about 50 southeast of the wine country town of Paso Robles. Soda Lake is a somewhat uninspired name for this group of salty, now you see them, now you don't ponds and lakes. But water that can drain off the Carrizo Plain arrives here in the very limited wet season and only leaves by evaporation or absorption into the ground. No creek leaves this valley. There's perhaps 2 main lake beds and more than 100 small ponds that merge or separate with the wet or dry. The organic, psychedelic shapes are from the combined actions of the silt dunes that form here and from the colonization of salt-resistant plants. This area is brown and dull much of the year, but the springtime is a whole other story. This area is famous for its wildflower displays. Come here when the flowers bloom and the colors will blow your mind. Mojave traffic, Cardinal 220, maneuvering 5 to the south. They've got all kinds of minerals here. This is an old volcanic plug. I think one of the mines is called Silver Queen, so that would be a hint as to what they're mining. They actually have gold here as well. I will look it up later, find out exactly what's what. Big holes there. Sort of all over the place. They're all over the mountain, and they're at the base of the mountain too. Paving the mountain down, boring hills at the base. That squiggly green line is my flight path. This is a practice flight, and it's one of my first times flying with ForeFlight on the iPad. I'm maneuvering over Ojai, California, not far from the Pacific coast. It's December, and that's when we get some of our most spectacular sunsets, with special shades of gold and blue that we don't quite get the rest of the year. A storm passed through earlier, leaving clearing skies with cloud layers above and below. The mountains to the north disturb the air flowing over them and causes the lower clouds to form. In the distance are lenticular clouds, formed by large-scale wave action of the wind over the coastal mountains. With the view of the Channel Islands backlit by a golden glow and flying among the soft clouds of a clearing storm, well, this is one sunset flight to remember and to share. It's early April and we're over Soda Lake in the Carrizo Plain. We're in the Cardinal, flying slow and making lazy turns, getting the most out of this glorious, dreamlike day. The Carrizo Plain is famous for its incredible wildflower displays, and I and so many others come here each year to view them. So we're here again to see what this year's spring has to offer, and we're hoping for truly spectacular colors: gold, purple, yellow, red, but it's not turning out as expected. We've had a very rainy spring this year, and it's turned this normally dusky brown and desert-like valley into a wonderful lush green. There are patches of bright yellow California goldfields everywhere, but that's all we have, green and yellow, and the other colors are missing. And the saturation and immense fields of color aren't there as in other years. Wildflowers are unpredictable, and plentiful rain makes no guarantee except that there will be green. But oh, what a green it is, and what a vast and lovely carpet it is in this valley. Okay, so the other colors aren't here this year. It still looks like a bit of heaven, and I really just can't call this year disappointing. Can you? We're level at 5,500 feet, eastbound, over Woodland Hills, and on our way to Brackett Field. It's a short but intense flight. Most of these flights over the city are intense, plugged into air traffic control, making turns to stay clear of big jets, and threading our way between major airspaces. Van Nuys and Hollywood Burbank airports are below and to the left. The big LAX Class Bravo airspace is just to the right, and the streets and freeways are full of traffic. It's a busy place. From 5,500 feet over the San Fernando Valley, you can see it all. And the camera on my new iPhone really zooms right in there and captures detail like I've never had before. It's quite a kick. I'm on my way to Kern Valley to spend a weekend in the mountains. I may be cruising at 150 miles per hour, but from my point of view, the flight is leisurely and dreamy. My headphones mute the roar of the engine, and my favorite music is playing through them. The late afternoon light is soft and gentle, and the October sky is calm. If ever I tried to relax by calling a favorite memory to mind, it wouldn't be of lying on a beach or walking through a forest. It would be of this flight, flying above the clouds, on my way to a favorite place, and feeling that I'm where I want to be. It's winter in Southern California. We're at the Malibu shore and headed for Santa Monica. I'm fascinated by this point of view because it seems to contain everything: sunny beaches and snowy mountains, land and water, country, suburbs, and a giant city. LA has a mild climate. Snow doesn't belong here, yet it never looks better than when there's a brilliant background of snowy white mountains. Go figure.